In a narcissistic relationship, you are forced to act out of character. You are forced to do things you would never do otherwise because the narcissist pushes you to your limits, and out of survival, you do certain things that are not aligned with your moral code, your moral values, and your moral system. That's why many survivors feel guilt about doing something or saying something, and they start questioning, am I the narcissist? Am I like them? Maybe I am the narcissist in this situation. Why would I do this? Why would I do that? To clear these doubts once for all, in this episode, we are going to talk about 5 behaviors that may make you think you are a narcissist, but you're not. If that sounds interesting and you're eager to learn more with me, please make sure to subscribe before we begin, because as I always say and request, your subscription to the channel may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Number 1, hoovering. When you're trauma bonded to a narcissist, you are essentially addicted to their presence. They become the source of your pain, but quite weirdly, they also become the source of your relief. It's not the person that you want back, it is how they make you feel when acting nice. It is the relief, it is the relaxation, it's the calmness that you want to feel in their presence. So you chase it. And that messes up you cognitively. You start thinking, oh, there is no way out of this for me. I am hopeless. I have to go back, otherwise I won't exist anymore. Out of sheer helplessness, you might do some things that can be labeled as toxic but not narcissistic. You might start displaying behavior similar to hoovering. You might start stalking their social media pages. You might check their WhatsApp. You might try to find out if they have moved on with somebody else, what's going on in their life. Are they happy? Are they sad? Have they faced their karma? Or are they repeating the same cycle with somebody else? Is that new person better than you? It's so much that you go on all at once, and out of that deep confusion and pain, you do these things. Then on top of that, you start thinking, see, I am like him, I am like her. I have now started hoovering. I'm trying to get them back. Does that make me a narcissist? You may also message them directly. You write long paragraphs, and in those paragraphs, you may pour your heart out. You might say things genuinely felt by you. You might authentically want to get together. You might request them to give you one more chance, and while doing so, you may express your love to them. You may become extra sweet. Not saying that you are feigning that, it's just that you are forgetting everything they have done to you in the past, and you just want to focus on the present moment, considering that you are going to begin things with them once again. That looks quite similar to narcissistic hoovering, doesn't it? But there is a major difference. When a narcissist hovers you, they do it with an intention of getting you back. They don't feel helpless. It's not that they love you and they have lost you and they want you back. It's not that they are struggling and suffering with chronic doubt. They know what they are doing. They know they are lying to you. They just want control back. You are not seeking that control. You seek love and connection. You cannot call your behavior hoovering because the context is different. Your intentions are different, and you are doing it out of pain while they are doing it out of their desperate need to re-establish control and their power over you. Behavior number 2, screaming, yelling, and shouting. Reactive abuse in general. When a narcissist pushes you to your limits, you start treating them the way they treat you. And that makes you violate your own value system, because you may be a peace-loving person. But if the narcissist goes on and on and on pushing your buttons for 6 hours, what will you do? Of course, you are going to react. You are a human being. And then you scream, you yell, you behave in ways that are not aligned with who you are and what your personality is like, which then creates massive cognitive dissonance between who you are and who you become. And that leads to doubt. Am I narcissistic here? Because I also yelled. I also did this. I also did that. I behaved like them. Am I the cause of every single issue? That doubt is worsened by the narcissist's pretense during your episode of reactive abuse. You may be breaking things, crying, falling apart, yelling, and the narcissist will act like the victim. They will start recording you. See what I'm being put through, and this is how abusive he is, how crazy she is. I don't know what to do with this person. It's so orchestrated, it's so strategically designed to make you lose your temper and then use your reactions against you. But I must tell you, anybody in your place would behave the same way if they are exposed to this amount of crazy levels of stress. Anybody will lose their control if they are pushed left, right, and center. It's not your fault. You're not a narcissist for reacting in biologically correct ways to their abusive nature. Think of this in a different way. Let's say you are trapped in a cage with a beast like a tiger. You can't run. You can't fight back. What will you do? You will either freeze or fawn, or you may try to fight back. So of course you are going to act in ways that are not aligned with who you are and how you normally act. Would you call yourself crazy for trying to fight off the tiger? Of course not, because it was trying to unalive you. That is how you have to understand it, and be very compassionate towards yourself. Instead of questioning yourself, you should really question the other person and how they pushed you to this point where you lost total control over your behavior. Behavior number 3, silent treatment. Narcissists punish you through giving you silent treatment and stonewalling you. They make you feel like you don't exist. They don't see you, they see through you. You are there, but they treat you in ways that make you feel like you don't matter. You feel like a ghost. If you resonate with that, if you have felt like that, drop your experiences in the comments below and help other survivors feel less alone in their journey. So when you go no contact, essentially you do the same thing. You do not talk to the narcissist. You do not respond to their messages. You basically cut them off. Totally act like they don't exist anymore. They have died and you have to move on. That looks like silent treatment, doesn't it? No, it is not. Again, there is a major difference. When a narcissist gives you silent treatment, the intention is to cause you harm, to punish you. When they stonewall you, their intention is to devalue you in the most painful way possible. But when you go no contact with a narcissist, your intention is not to hurt them in any way. Your intention is to protect yourself, because you know there is no way to make peace with them. There is no way to coexist with them. There is no way you can have any form of communication with them without getting blamed, without them gaslighting and manipulating you. There is only one way left, and what is that? Do not speak to this individual because they cannot reflect, so what is the point? That is what you are doing. You are not giving them silent treatment. Don't let that chronic doubt, the narcissist's voice in your head take over and tell you otherwise. You're not like them. The primary evidence for that is your own capability to hold yourself accountable and to scrutinize yourself, to ask, am I doing this the right way? Why did I do this? Why did I say that? A narcissist does not have that capability. Well, I don't like to say that. The truth is they can, but they don't want to. They can ask themselves if they are doing something in the right or wrong way, but they don't care enough to do that. That takes effort. Behavior number 4, speaking your truth. When somebody asks you after leaving the narcissist, why did you leave that person? What was going on in that relationship? You may genuinely share what was going on, what happened, what was done to you, how you were treated by that person, mixed with confusion. While sharing your story, you will question yourself, but still you will give them an overall idea of how narcissistic and bad that person was. That looks similar to what a narcissist does when running a smear campaign against you. They say all these things and they make it quite real. They might run a different kind of smear campaign also. They might speak positively about you so that you look like the cruel person. You're the one who has alienated them. They make it seem like that. When running a smear campaign against you, a narcissist desperately tries to control your life because they can't control you directly. So they control how other people see you. They try to bring as many people as possible on their side so that they isolate you, so that you are punished, so that they take out that hatred on you and they cause you more harm. But when you speak your truth, none of that is intended. None of that is in your mind. You only are sharing your pain. You just share what all happened. That is where the difference lies. So do not question yourself. Do not say, oh, I may be a narcissist because I'm also going around and running a smear campaign. No, there is a major difference between running a smear campaign and speaking your truth. You are not smearing their name. You are not destroying their reputation in any way. They are doing all of that. And you are just speaking what happened, and it's their actions that help others see how destructive they are. So they're causing that harm to themselves. Number 5 and the last one. This one is contradictory. Depending for support on somebody outside relationship or your marriage. Now, some of you may agree with it and some may not, which is absolutely okay. I respect your opinions. And I also say you should ideally try to leave the narcissist first before finding somebody else. But this is a very complicated situation, y'all. We are dealing with somebody who deprives us of affection, compassion, kindness, empathy, connection, all the things you can imagine, the basic ingredients of a healthy relationship. And if this continues for years, of course, you seek that. And some survivors step outside of their marriage to form a bond with somebody who provides all of this. Some survivors get into a relationship with a third person while they are living with a narcissist, and that third person occasionally happens to be a healthy one who uplifts the victim and gives them the support so that they can leave the narcissist. I have seen it happening, and in many situations it was this third person getting the victim out of this rut. But it can be labeled as toxic and unhealthy. However, in my opinion, it is not narcissistic in any way. It's not cheating, even though it looks like cheating. I hope you understand my point. You cannot say you were a narcissist just because you did a similar thing. Context matters, and your circumstances are different than those of the narcissist. Narcissists cheat regardless. No matter how much you give them, no matter how much you try to fulfill all their needs, they'll still step out and do something they should not be doing. But you gave them all the chances. You waited for years, and somebody came across. You were waiting for that support. You were desperate for that, and somebody offered that. It's quite natural for you to just derail and do something you would not have done otherwise, like going against your character, because loyalty may be one of your primary values. So all I have to say is that you should forgive yourself. If you hold yourself accountable and if you are kind of beating yourself up, let go. It's fine. Context matters. This was unhealthy perhaps or toxic, but not narcissistic at all. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for joining in and for listening. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.